Hi there, here we are. We made it. It's 2022. Happy New Year. May our dreams and goals turn into reality, all by the grace of God, of course. Welcome to Unscripted from 4 Points by Sheraton here in Hurlingham. Welcome to yet another great season. But first, let's celebrate a few more unscripted favorites. So before we bring you new stories, I want us to take a trip down memory lane, starting with Lucy Kingori. Ring a bell? The lady behind the brand Bouquet, who also happens to be a brain tumor survivor. Nothing yet? Here's a clip.
I was busy running the brand. I remember one day I just felt sick.
What did you feel?
I had actually had a cough, a really bad cough. I rarely get flus, but I had a really bad flu, and for this one I had to see a doctor. So I went to the doctor, I saw him, he gave me medication for that, recommended bed rest. But
it was that bad?
Yes, it was really bad. As we were talking about the flu and the boys, the family business and all that, he actually remembered I'd been on painkillers for the longest possible time. And he asked me, okay, by the way, how is your headache going? So I told him, I asked him to actually prescribe something stronger because I felt paracetamols weren't doing the trick.
Gosh.
On that particular day, he opted not to prescribe painkillers. What he did was, I was actually literally on my way out. So he called me back. He pulled me by my hand, told me to sit down. Then he checked my eye. So I was wondering why he was checking my eye. So I thought maybe he thinks the headaches were related to
your vision.
My vision.
Okay. So
I started thinking, does this mean I'll start wearing glasses?
Yeah.
It's a hassle. I don't want. I'll start feeling old. I know. So he checked my eyes. Then what he recommended was for me to go have a scan done, a CT scan, and he told me not to take any more painkillers. Yeah, so he looked at it and he told me, he looked at me and he told me, yeah, I was right. There's something in your head. So I asked, what do you mean there's something in my head? He told me there's a growth and that is what's giving you headaches. He actually recommended a neurosurgeon at the earliest possible date. He took us through the scan. He showed us where the growth was exactly, why the headaches were there.
I see.
Why that was affecting my vision. It's because it was above my right eye socket.
I see.
That's why I kept having light sensitivity issues. So at the neuro's office, he called it a meningioma.
Meningioma.
A meningioma.
Okay.
So what it is it's the growth, it's the cells in your brain accumulating on one spot on the membrane that covers the brain. Then when it accumulates, it forms a growth, and then this growth is what creates pressure on the different sections of your brain. So it's categorized differently depending on the location. His exact words were, we need to operate as soon as possible. Because of where it was risking my eyesight, memory, and for some, I've seen some who've gotten it after me, and for them, unfortunately, it's resulted in a stroke.
And the surgery took how long?
8 hours. 8 hours.
So 8 hours later, you
come
to tell us, what's that moment when you wake up and you're seeing the lights in ears?
I remember being woken up from theater, and later I found out they did that because whenever they have such a surgery, they have to make sure you're okay while you're still in the theater.
But tell us, how was it when you came to and you realized that you're here?
First of all, I was so grateful. I looked for familiar faces, but then in HDU, there are no visitors and all that. So I just kept falling in and out of sleep. And the first face I saw was my husband. What I didn't know was he'd been there a day and a night. He hadn't gone home to change or anything. So when I saw him, I was a bit happy. I said, okay, I can recognize him, so I'm not badly off. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. So in the days after that, the doctor would come in, ask me questions, do you know where you are? Do you know what happened? Do you know why? Just to make sure everything was intact.
And how were you doing? You were fine?
I was doing fine. I was actually able to walk. By the second day, I was walking up and down.
Wow. You were talking and walking?
I was talking and walking. Of course, I had a huge drainage tube on my head, but
you were mobile.
I was mobile. I was mobile. I was eating.
Good.
Yeah. I spoke to my mom on phone by the second day. I told her I was doing well.
And your boys, of course, I'm sure you called them as soon as you could. No,
actually,
you didn't want to.
I could not. I didn't feel like
you wanted to be.
I could handle that.
Okay.
So I did not, but I spoke to their grandma who was with them. Yeah, my husband's mom.
Well, now that I've jogged your memory a little bit, here are some of her life lessons through her journey that really inspired us.
It's a second chance at this. For me, it's a reminder that we have limited time on earth. We need to know what's important. We're constantly chasing imaginary things. We want this big life with a lot of money. What for? Because for me, when I was in bed in hospital, all that it didn't matter.
That's true.
It was just me, my health, my family. That was it. I realized how inconsequential or how not important all that is. So for me, the sky is a reminder for us to appreciate basically the things that mean a lot are literally not things. It's the time you have.
That's true.
It's the experiences, it's the memories, it's all that.
The people that you love.
The people you love, For me, that's what this sky symbolizes. Yes.
I love that. So it makes you live life even more intentionally.
I do. I live my life intentionally. I have zero apologies.
What is the healing and treatment journey, and what are the long-term effects?
Okay, so for me, the healing has been it's also been quite hectic. It's been a year plus of medication.
I see.
I've also lost my sense of smell completely, but hopefully it will come back.
So it could come back.
It could come back.
Because you told me earlier, I was like, completely. So
I cannot smell anything.
So when you're cooking,
I don't know what. Everything is fresh right now. Really? I know I sprayed perfume, but I don't know what it smells like.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how is this playing out in your business?
This not having a sense of smell, it's just taken me backwards because for my formulations, I need my senses. So now I'll have to figure it out moving forward if the sense of smell doesn't come back.
I see. Yeah. How to incorporate your new reality into your business.
Yes. Because you cannot hire a nose.
You definitely cannot.
Yes.
I'd like you to speak on support system and the importance of that, and what gave you strength during that journey.
It's these are the small things again that we take for granted. Your support system, the people around you, very important. This is what will determine how fast you heal. If you have, like, I will say I am blessed. I have a very good family. That's the nuclear and extended, both sides.
Okay.
My in-laws are very hands-on with the boys.
Okay.
My mom, they're all around. They're always around to support. They've been present for the last year plus. Okay. Which brings me back to now how we live our current lives. The circle we create right now, you can try imagine it. Try imagine a point when you're really low in your life, when you're really down. Are those the people who
you can count on? You
can count on. That's how I look at it. So my circle is very small, very small.
Good job.
And unapologetically so.
Fantastic.
You have it matters.
It does.
Yeah. Who you surround yourself with matters.
After an experience like that, of course we had to go and look for Lucy and just get a life update and see how she's doing. Of course, and get a New Year message from her. Here she is. I got the opportunity to tell my story on Unscripted about 8 months back, and I must say I was anxious at first, but looking back, it was the best thing I've done in a while. It was a good opportunity to get to tell my story. The support has been overwhelming. It's just been amazing. We've been able to walk this journey with a few other people who have had or who had the same issues that I did, And it's been a beautiful journey. It's the best thing I can say I did. Since the last show, my senses have definitely improved a bit. The sense of smell is not yet back, though I am more grateful for health than anything else. So yeah, the rest will healing takes a while, that I understand, but the support is what helps me get through every day. Support from family, co-workers, support from the community at large. My family is amazing, actually. My boys are doing well. Business has been okay. Life, as you know, has been a bit tough on everyone, but we soldier on. The one thing I'm grateful for most of all is family, because without the support of family, it's tougher, it's harder to get by or to get through situations in life generally. So the one thing I am grateful for is, yeah, definitely family. My message to everyone watching is to have a happy new year, a blessed new year. Last year was tough on everyone, but I say every day above ground is a blessing. So let's be grateful. Let's be grateful for every day that you get to see the sunrise and the sunset. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lucy. We wish you all the very best this new year. It's now time for a short break. See you on the other side. Now, who do you think is coming on this part? Let me help you. Tabitha Gitau, our guest who struggled with endo for a very long time, underwent 13 surgeries. A very difficult journey she's had, but God has truly been faithful. Here is Tabitha.
Endometriosis wasn't well known in Kenya for one.
Okay.
So when we went to the doctors, they put it off as painful menstrual periods.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, yours are just a bit more
exaggerated.
Severe, exaggerated. Some doctors said it's psychosomatic. You're thinking too much about it. I started taking my pain meds way before the period started.
Really?
Now after that, they became irregular. Now, I started getting ovarian cysts. And mine were quite big. They couldn't be drained from the outside. So I started being done surgeries to remove the ovarian cysts.
What happened?
I was done 3 surgeries in like 1.5 years.
What?
And doctors didn't see the endo. They were removing the ovarian cysts. During my 5th surgery is when now a doctor said when they're going in, they'll do what is called exploratory laparoscopic surgery.
What does that mean?
They'll go remove the ovary, they go remove the cyst, but explore around the reproductive organ and see exactly what's going on. That's when they saw the endometriosis.
You made the tough decision to go for the surgery to remove your uterus.
No, that one was a bit later.
That was much later?
That was much later.
Before, so how bad did it get for you to get to that point?
I was bleeding for like 20 days in a month.
What?
Continuously.
And coming to that decision, maybe I can backtrack. You had a son first, yeah? How did that come to be?
God. Let me put it to very simple terms. That was God. Let's say at the point I got pregnant, I'd already decided down to do the hysterectomy.
Oh, you were done?
Yeah.
How did you feel when the doctor told you, Tabitha, there's your baby?
I was happy, then I was sad,
Why?
then I was shocked, then I was back to happy. I was like every emotion you can feel. Then I was scared. What I'm praying for is we manage to get the finances so that I can go and be done that surgery, because it can't be done in the country, just to be outside. And I really need it, because the way I am right now, I can't eat solid food. I'm vomiting all the time. I'm in constant pain.
Now, Tabitha has really been through it, yet she decided to share her story with us. So let's revisit why she chose that and what gave her the strength and motivation to face each day.
First of all, it's not the end. It's not the end at all. It's a scary journey. Most people go alone. Most people don't get the support they need because unfortunately people don't understand. People will judge you, people will say you're exaggerating your story. People will say you're not the only woman who gets her menses. I once lost a job like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of awareness going around about endometriosis, and it's something that should change because unfortunately it's something that's affecting very many women.
Yeah. Who are silently suffering.
Silently being mocked by their husbands. Because like one of the symptoms of endometriosis is you can't have sexual intercourse. Is very painful. So try explaining that to a man. They'll say unajifanya.
Yeah, you don't want him anymore.
You don't want it. And actually that's part of how I lost my baby daddy. Let's say I live one day at a time. I have my son.
You do. You do.
He's an awesome baby. I have a very strong mom. She is very strong spiritually, so she has a very big backbone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have the little friends I have are very supportive. I've had support from people I never thought I'd get support from, because all those are many surgeries and that's a lot of money.
What is your one prayer as we finish?
I'm grateful if I had the opportunity, and I'm still having the opportunity of being a mom, because many women who have endometriosis get fertility issues.
Yeah.
As I've said, they have a group full of women and most of them don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. So it's a blessing. It's the one thing that I usually pray and tell God, that was just a miracle in itself.
Well, it's now time to check in with Tabitha, who finally managed to go for the last surgery that she needed. So let's check in with her and see how she's keeping and also what her plans are for the new year.
I've been okay. When I came to the show, I had mentioned that I'm planning on going abroad for treatment in Romania. We went in the month of May, and they managed to remove any endometriosis that could be seen at that point. I have to say, out of the 14 other surgeries that have been done, this was the hardest, because the recovery process was very, very painful. So my main advice would be hang in there. Seek medical don't just keep on going keep on going for surgeries just because a doctor told you. You seek a second and third and a fourth opinion, because my main problem came about because of doing so many surgeries and some of them were not even necessary. So I'd advise you do your homework, see the right doctors, enter the support groups that are available. They really help a lot. And mostly just believe in God. One of the biggest challenges I had post-surgery was during the surgery, because of the adhesions, they had to cut a very huge part of the small intestines and the large intestines. So I have something called short bowel syndrome, meaning my food does not take, it does not, like if normally food takes 8 hours to digest, mine takes a shorter period, meaning the absorption is not as good as it should be. And it causes diarrhea, constipation, a lot of, I have to be really careful what I eat. Then when I went, I was in pain. Right now, I'm in pain, not as much pain as I was when I went, but I'm still in a significant amount of pain. Pain enough to make you not do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year, full of loads and loads of blessings. We've had quite a tough year, but we've made it. May everything go according to your plan.
Let me say the journey has not been easy, because she started suffering when she was in the university, and it didn't seem as if it was something very serious, because the doctor had just diagnosed it just something which can be cleared through giving her hormonal drugs. Actually, the doctor had said it was an hormonal balanced condition. But they tried the hormonal drugs and they didn't work. It is a very demanding condition. The drugs they use are very expensive. Everything is expensive with the endometriosis condition, also psychologically. Psychologically, to the family, because it is just something we started like, like nothing, and now it has it has seen her out of college. Actually, she was almost completing her course in USIU. Now she's out, and now her life has stopped. But let me say one thing, even with that, I am a born-again Christian. And I decided to hang on God and to trust in the Lord, because, the Bible tells us in Psalms 125 that those wait upon the Lord will be given new strength every day, because they are like a Mount Zion, which can never be shaken. And I kept on meditating on those words, that I will not give up. Because if I give up, what will happen to the other siblings? What will happen to her? In fact, it changed my life, and it made me even more stronger.
We're very happy for you, Tabitha, and wish you a full recovery here with our team at Unscripted. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. As we wrap the show, we want to highlight another guest who has had to rebuild her life after heartbreak. To jog your memory, here she is. You walked out of a dysfunctional marriage.
Yes.
Take us back. You're together for 7 years.
Yes.
7 years.
Yes.
That's
1, 2, 3, 7.
Exactly. That's a very long time.
Yes.
To be dating someone.
Yes.
Then you get married, and 2 years later, all comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
What happened?
So we were college sweethearts. That's where we met.
Okay.
And so we dated for 7 years, but in between the 7 years, we had a breakup. So we at some point broke up for 1 year. That's what happened. Then we got married, and after just like 2 years, 2.5, I couldn't stay anymore.
What was it that you couldn't handle anymore? What happened?
So when I got married, now I think it was the falling point of whatever everybody had won, and at that point things started changing. He started complaining about things he never complained over the 7 years we had been together.
Like what?
He started asking me to be like a wife, like you have to wake up, prepare me when I'm going to work, blah blah blah. At some point during dating, we had a fight, and he beat me and slapped me at some point. But then I thought it was my fault, because I had gone with my friend for a youth Larry or youth something fellowship, and then we were late. So when we were coming back home, everybody was being dropped at their home. And now I was the last person to be dropped, because I was living along Thika Road.
I see.
So I was the last one at around 12 at night. So when I got home, he was so mad. He's like, what kind of a girl comes home at this time? What? And we had exchange of words. And at that point, he beat me and slapped me. The beating, yes, it happened again after I got married. And now this time it was even worse. Immediately after the wedding, and I found out I was pregnant, things started changing. You know the way somebody changes when they are pregnant.
Yeah.
And
Like
sometimes
physically?
yeah, physically and emotionally and in so many ways.
True.
So sometimes he could find me sleeping in the house and he's telling me, we kazi yako ni kulala tu na hii mimba yako. That went on, and I remember at some point he really mishandled me, and I remember this story because it really affected me, because we were supposed to go home to his mom's place, and we were supposed to leave Nairobi at 4. We used to live in Kiambu Road. So we were supposed to leave at that place at 4.
Yeah.
So he wakes me up, and apparently for not good reason, I didn't feel like I wanted to shower in the morning. So it was 4 a.m. and I'm thinking, let me put on my dera and we go home. So we are going home after all. So that morning he was so mad at me, like, utaki kuoga na tunaenda home, sijui nini. And he took me and shook me like this and threw me on the bed, and I was like, okay, why are you doing this?
Wait, and are you pregnant at this time?
I'm pregnant.
Wow.
I remember after we came back, alininyamazia for so long. I think alininyamazia December, and he spoke to me next in March. Like,
what?
He could come home in the morning, or he could just come home, stay at the couch until the morning. And I'm there alone. If I am not able to wake up and do something or prepare something for myself, that day will be like that. Because at some point I didn't have a nanny. So it was
So in the house it was you and your baby, and then...
me and my baby, and that's it. And at that point I fell into serious postpartum
depression. That can happen. Yeah.
I was off. I could leave him with the baby. There's a day I left him with the baby and I was like, I'm done. I don't want anybody or anything to do with this life.
Wow.
So I went, and then I stayed out for like a whole day, and I think I just felt, I can't leave my baby. Let me just go back. Yeah. Let me see how it goes. Yeah, and things never got any better. When my baby was 7 weeks, we had a exchange. And it was because a very small thing of like, and during the exchange of words, because I remember I was sleeping, I just nilishtukia tu amenislap. So amenislap kwa sababu nimemwambia, I think enda tu ulale sitting room vile umezoea, instead ya kukuja kwa bed, you're drunk, and you can even sleep on the baby. I'm paranoid. And he was like, kwani wewe mtoto si wangu? Kwani nyumba sio yangu mimi? And I kept sometimes blaming me, because he always told me, you're not a good wife. You don't even know how to make a home. You should be like other people.
Or he would compare you.
Yeah, he could tell me, naonanga tukienda kwa fulani vile ameka nyumba yake vizuri. Why can't you be like that? So I kept blaming myself and thinking, nimi niko na shida.
What was the turning point for you?
Well, at some point during our chaos, and I realized that he never had intentions, or he never even used to touch me because he had another girl. And I was not aware. So I kept wondering what happening. But at the moment that I learned that he was cheating and he had an affair, that moment, it really changed me to the worst.
What did you do? What happened?
I became very bitter, very disrespectful, I could not be able to contain myself. The last time that I decided I will not do that anymore, after so many frequent fights and violence, was the day that my sister came to my house. I think when he realized my sister is at home, he woke up and started throwing and asking my sister never to come again. Alikuwa anamwambia sister yako ni useless sana. Nashindwa atatoka kwa hii nyumba lini. Can you tell her to go? I don't want her.
Oh no.
And can you all go na msiwahi chukua mtoto wangu tena na msiwahi sijui. Hey. That was the last weekend there. I looked for a house. I had now plans to move out the following.
I see. That's when your exit plan began.
Yes, that's when my exit plan began, and I was decided I'm going.
Yet through it all, Lillian remained hopeful and even has a word or two of encouragement for you at home.
I would like to maybe tell somebody who is watching that living a marriage is not easy, and staying in a dysfunctional marriage, it's not easy either. you have to choose a place where you will heal. Because until you heal, you will never do anything with yourself. Get people who can understand you, because you can be very emotional. Personally, I took a road of writing. I used to write about everything that happened to me. I used to put it everywhere, and as much as at some point it felt like Naibisha, the other party, to me I was healing. To me I was like, this is what happened to me. When I was going through this, I was silent. So guys, can you let me talk?
In fact, as we finish this part of the show, why did you reach out to share this story? Why do you want someone at home to hear this story?
I want somebody to know that it is possible, and marriage is not a death sentence. If it stops working, I think it is better if at the point I learned it stopped working, I left at that point, because maybe we could not have been so extreme. I could not have been bitter.
Yeah.
We could be maybe co-parenting
better.
And if you don't have the energy to, or somebody who is supporting you, or you're not strong enough to tell yourself this will be over, you will die in that marriage. People are killing each other in marriages. That's true. And I tell people, don't think they wake up one day and decide I'm killing her today. It is just an argument. It raises. You take a stool, you hit him, and he's gone.
Just like that,
And just like that, nimeenda Langata, just like that, mtu ameenda Kamiti, you've left children suffering. Why? Because you refuse to accept that imeacha kuwak. Ikiacha kuwak, let go. I always say this a million times. A divorced daughter is much better than a dead daughter. My dad is happy to see me alive today. Actually, hi Dad, if you're watching, I love you so much. And I wish every woman who is looking for strength, because again, walking out of marriage is not easy.
It's not.
Any woman looking for strength to walk out, I pray that atapata hiyo nguvu ya kuamua enough is enough. This life is about me. And you can actually look on my page. This is Lilo on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay. And you can also watch and read my posts and see what I talk about, because I know people hide these things under the carpet. They don't want to talk.
We managed to catch up with Lillian, who we hear has some fantastic new developments. Let's have a look as we also hear what her plans for the new year are.
It has been amazing. I have had a beautiful season, and more to that, I have had a good job. And in terms of emotional, mentally, and every other thing, I think the growth is paramount. I can't complain. I'm very thankful to God for the gift of life. I'm thankful for these amazing jobs. And I think I'm also thankful because I am at a place where I am so healed, and I think it was a good decision that I decided to talk out about my story. I am looking to a season where I'll be able to even encourage more women to walk out of toxic relationship. I'm looking into an year that will come, that I'll be able to go out there and do amazing job to other women, and also to make more money, because guys, it has been awesome selling cars. My baby is doing amazing. She's in school, and she's doing good in school. And I wish everyone a happy new year, and I pray that you're going to have a fantastic year full of abundance, full of love, that all your dreams and all your resolutions that you have set this year, you're going to achieve them. Those who are seeking for healing, who are seeking to walk out of toxic relationship, out of toxic marriages, you guys, you can do it. We will make it. And choose yourself over and over and over again. Happy New Year. May 2022 bring so much tiding to you. Happy New Year, everyone.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate you. Once again, Happy New Year. May we all thrive and have the courage to tell our stories. You never know who you might be helping along the way. Thank you, 4 Points by Shara Tignil Hallingham, for hosting us. But until next week, goodbye and God bless.